You're on.
Okay, we tested the effects of Windex on the germination of Winter Rye. And our purpose of this lab was to test the toxicity of Windex on the germination of Winter Rye. We were looking for the lowest observed adverse effect, and we concluded that it was 20%.
Windex was a common household product, as everyone knows, and we wanted to make sure that we tested it and Winter Rye is a very flexible crop that can grow in extreme conditions. We commonly don't think that household products will be toxic, although much of the time they are, but they're just at a low concentration. It's very important to be aware of the toxicity of the products that are being used in your house. And according to the MSDS for Windex from Johnson & Johnson's, ammonium hydroxide is one of the toxic products in Windex, and one of the other toxic products is isopropyl alcohol.
Okay, for our materials and methods, we filled 15 pots with soil and we divided them up into 5 groups. And we had the control, the very low, the low, and the medium, and the high. And we diluted the Windex in water and measured it using beakers. Our control group had no Windex added to it, and our contaminant ranged from 5% to 50%. With the concentration beginning at 12.5 milliliters of Windex and 237.5 milliliters of H2O. We added 10 seeds to each pot, and then we allowed them to grow over a week in the greenhouse, and then we recorded our findings at the end of the week. We measured them, looked at the color, and tried to discern if they were dead or not.
The plants in the control group grew very well, and they were all bright green in color. Something very interesting happened with the very low group of concentration, which was 5% concentration of Windex in water. The height overall improved, and the quality of the plants was green and healthy, just as the same as the control group. The low group, which was 15% concentration, had a lower overall height, and the quality of the plants was pretty good, except for there was only one brown plant over the 3 pots. And the medium group, which was 20% concentration, had another interesting result where one of the pots had no plants that germinated or grew, and the other 2 pots had growth and germination. However, one of the pots had a plant that was completely dead, and the overall height continued to decrease with the 20% contamination of Windex and water.
Our high group, the total height was higher than the medium pots, which was slightly surprising, but the plants were all dead. And we had a lot of trouble with the contaminant because when we mixed it together and poured it into the soil, there was a lot of extra, and it was leaking out of the bottoms despite the foil. And at the end of the week, we discovered that some of the pots got so damp that mold was growing in them. And the lowest adverse effect was 20%. And our table shows the germination of each pot and the overall germination. And then our figure shows the response of Winter Rye to various concentrations of Windex. And we have the total average, and you can see once it reaches medium that it kind of hit a low effect and just kind of veered off.
Our lowest observed effect was 20% according to our findings, and we predicted it would be around there because of the low toxicity of Windex. The advantages to this experiment were that we were able to discover the levels of Windex and be aware of household products using it.
The disadvantages were that it was a very small-scale experiment under a small amount of time, so it's not exactly credible or a very well-shown effect of what happens over a small amount of time. And Windex is a very safe product, is what we concluded. We were surprised by the fact that a low concentration of Windex helped improve the growth, but with a higher concentration, the plants would do very poorly.
And we just wanted to make sure everyone is careful when using Windex because at high levels it could be harmful to plants and possibly to animals in the environment.
Don't drink it.